So why shouldn't you make an offer after your first viewing? Well, if for no other reason, then the light in a property is going to change throughout the day, and natural light is hugely important to how you live in a property and the mood in a property. So it's always worth seeing a property maybe in the morning and then later in the afternoon / evening. That's number one. Number two, you also want to see what the neighbourhood is like at different times of the day at night. So while it might be perfectly peaceful in the morning, does it turn into a bit of a rat run later on in the afternoon or during rush hour? And does it get very noisy at that point as well? So I'd say for those reasons alone, you should always have a second viewing and make the offer after that. Now, some people are particularly practical and analytical, and so they will be looking at an advert and they'll have a list of must-haves and nice-to-haves, and a tick, 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 perfect, go see the property, and all they want to do is make sure that the property itself matches the advert, matches the list of must-haves and however many nice-to-haves, and also that structurally it's okay, that the boiler is of a decent age, that it has the same number of appliances and those appliances are working, that the floor is in good condition, that the basics that people look at, and then that's enough for them. Whereas the rest of us have a step in the middle where, yes, we've checked the must-haves, but we want to know how a property feels. And you don't know that until you actually get to the property, and until you actually stand in front of it, walk through that front door, and then start to go around the property. And for me, that always happens within the first minute. You get a feel where you think, either this has potential or just no, I'm just not feeling it. So on that first viewing, there's a few things that you want to do. Number one, before you even get there, check with the estate agent that they have enough time set aside for you to actually do this property justice. If somebody says to you they've only got 15 minutes and then they've got another viewing somewhere else or at the same property, then reschedule it for when they've got more time. Get to the property early. Make sure that you've got enough time to look around the block. You've got enough time to sit outside and maybe sit in the car and just watch the comings and goings, see what the people around are like, and just get a general feel for the property. Number three, make sure you take somebody with you. Even if you are buying on your own, or if the person that will be buying with you isn't available, make sure you have somebody else to go with you. When you're walking around a house and looking in a room, you want to be able to discuss with somebody how you could live in that environment. How would you live in this house? And to be able to discuss the things you're perhaps not quite so sure about, so you get to talk it through with someone. That person can't be the estate agent and it can't be the vendor of the property, because they might be a little bit sensitive to your feedback. Number four, don't be afraid to ask for some space. So I would always say let somebody walk you around the property first so that you get a feel for it. Maybe take the floor plan with you so that you know the flow of the house. And then I would say, okay, can I just have a quick look around on my own, with the person that's come with me? And then while you're looking around, you get to talk a bit more freely without thinking that someone is over your shoulder, but also you get to act things out. So act out your average everyday task. So maybe it's brushing your teeth. Are you going to be hitting your head on the mirror that's above the sink, for example, or making a cup of coffee? So how far is it from the sink to the fridge and to the kettle? All that sort of thing. Just, does it work? Does it flow for you? Have a sit in a chair by a window. What can you see? How does it feel? And then number five, I would say always take time once you've finished to sit in your car or to sit nearby and just make some notes about how you felt and the things that you thought about this property, your immediate feelings, your immediate thoughts going into the property and coming out of the property, just so you've got those for record. And if you do look at them and think, actually, I like that property, then it's time to go back and have a look at all the detailed and specific bits. Now, you can get full checklists from any of the portals. So if you go to Rightmove, Zoopla, On the Market, and I would say get all three checklists for viewing checklists, get all three of them, add them together, and then go round with those for your second viewing. At that point, you're probably feeling more comfortable about making an offer. But if you're not and you still want to go back and have a third viewing, then I would say don't be afraid of having that third viewing. Don't be afraid of asking for it. You're about to spend what is probably hundreds of thousands of pounds. anyone will let you have that third viewing. So for a lot of us, take the time, get the feel for the property, and then do the detail. And good luck.